It's a pleasure to welcome my next guest. His name is Nami Hagigi. Nami, hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much, Nicole, for inviting me for this interview. And you pronounced it very well.
Thank you so much. You did give me a bit of coaching before we started. I met you on a group chat last Saturday, which was really kind of inspiring. It was very nice, although I couldn't work out how to change the screens to see everybody. Hearing you talk, I enjoyed what you said, I enjoyed your voice. So it'd be nice just to know a little bit more about you. I mean, where are you from? What did you do?
Okay, right. I'm originally from Persia, now known as Iran. And at the age of 14, I moved to the UK to study. And I studied English in Oxford and then Manchester, then ended up living in London and finally in Ireland before I moved to Spain. And I came to Spain in 2000 to stay here for a year, and I'm here for now, 20 years, and enjoying and loving the life on the coast, really.
Have you always been in some kind of work that was helping others, or have you come into this recently? What's been your path?
Yes, I actually studied accountancy, and for a couple of years I worked as an accountant, and then soon realized that I loved working with people and solve their problems and help people. And now looking back on all my career of almost 40 years, looking back, connecting the dots, I can see that that's what I've always been doing. No matter what I was involved with, it was always to do with helping people achieve their goals, achieve their dreams, and supporting them, motivating them to go for their dreams, and giving them tools, not just giving them helpful advice, but showing them the path and supporting them through the process. And for the last 10 years, I've been doing that as a coach, mentor, also as a leadership trainer. And I'm finding that more and more people are finding and realizing how powerful the coaching tools are and how beneficial it can be for their life in the business. And it's unfortunately something that, we're not taught at school, colleges, universities. They're not touching on any of those subjects. And when I was growing up, I realized I really didn't have the tools needed to communicate better, to connect with people, and even serving people, and didn't have the right tools, how to control our minds, our thinking, how to be more effective. All those things I had to actually go and study afterwards, and spend a lot of time. The last 25 years, I've been teaching myself, learning, going to courses about how I can be a better version of myself. And then I pass that information and experience and tools to the people I work with, my clients, and people who train with me.
A lot of people, unfortunately, feel that asking for help is a sign of weakness, whether it's in their personal life or in their corporate life. How does one go about helping people understand that that isn't necessarily the case?
That's a good question, actually. I would say, for me, we have all these mindsets, all these things built over the years. So from, based on our values, our belief systems, our growing up process. However, some of those beliefs maybe don't work for us so well. So I would ask myself the question, how is this helping me right now? Not asking for help. And give it a try. That's what I'm a great believer in. Whatever you see, hear about, why don't you go out there and try it out for yourself? And then you can actually make up your mind based on your personal experience, rather than, listening to what others say, which might not be really relevant to you, because a lot of people project. They're looking at their mindset, their belief system, and they project it onto your life. And of course, a lot of that does not apply. That's why we don't really like advice. We'd reject a lot of advice. You would know if you have children, most of your children won't listen to what you say because you don't understand. And they're right. We don't understand. We can never have the experience they have, the belief systems they have, the knowledge they have. So in coaching, we don't give advice. That's why sometimes I have to switch my hat from a coach and become a mentor to be able to give them advice, because in business, just asking them questions is not going necessarily to help them move forward. It's not going to give them the tools they need. So I switch over to mentorship with their permission. Otherwise, as a coach, we literally ask questions to help them get from where they are to where they want to go. And it doesn't have to be help. It could be support. It could be information. Change that word in your mind and go for whatever works for you.
Mindset seems to play an awful important part in changing and molding ourselves to be our best selves. So how do we go about changing our mindset?
Well, everything in life for me is about creating a balance. So if, for example, right now we're going through a lot of challenges all around the world, and if we were to just listen to what is said on the news all the time and be bombarded with a lot of negative information, that's going to impact. That information goes into our brain, but it affects our emotions, it affects our physiology, and we can actually become stuck. We can not find our way out because we're focusing on the wrong thing. What could be a solution to this? How can I, help other people? How can I get myself?
Nami, you were an accountant. Was that pressure, external pressure to do that? What led you there in the first place? And how did you then make that decision to change?
Well, at that age, with the best information I had, that's the decision I made based on what I had learned up to that date. And I was good with numbers and I wanted to serve, and I found that to be an effective way of doing it. But that led me on the path to doing what I'm doing, serving my clients as a business coach, because I help them visualize what it is they want to achieve, always starting with end in mind. A lot of people, don't really know where they want to go. I ask people, my clients, I also have coffees with people, over 300 over the last 2-3 years. And this is where I give service to people. And they have 1 hour with me. It's called Coffee with Nami. And during that time, I help them get clarity about what it is they want to achieve. And once we have that picture, then it's much easier to find our path to that. A lot of people don't know where they're going. And I give them an example. I said, if you just jump in a taxi in Marbella outside your office, and first piece of conversation is, where do you want to go? Yet a lot of people don't know where they're going with their life, where they're going with their business. They're just moving forward, hoping for the best. Imagine telling the taxi driver, I don't want to go to Madrid, or just take me somewhere, or let's just move. Then they're going to think you're crazy. They're going to ask you to leave the cab. You really need to give them exact direction, both to the taxi driver and also in your life, to your subconscious mind, so you can actually start working, building towards something. And once you have that vision, it becomes a very easy process of bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. So you can be in the right places, studying the right things, learning more about what you need to achieve. And step by step, I actually work backwards from your vision to today. That way we can actually know what you need to do in 3 years' time, what you need to do next year, and what you need to do this month, this week, today. So every action you take can be on that path of getting you to that final vision. Without a vision, you could end up anywhere. By luck, you could end up in the right place, but it's much better for me anyway. I like to be in control of my destiny. So I work on my path and my vision. And we can change it. We're not stuck with it. You can always change it, revise it, and so on. But please, decide where it is you want to go and build that vision, build that story. When everything is perfect with your business, with your life, what does that look like?
It's I love the analogy of the taxi, because it is the first question, and yet it's a question that we often never ask ourselves, and if we do, we don't know the answer. So if you want to know where you're going to in your life, keep hearing the Mahogany song, do you know where you're going to? If you want to know where you're going to and you need assistance, I can highly recommend contacting Nami. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I think I'll take you up on that offer to have more chats, because I think our viewers would love a few tips of how to vision their lives. And while we're all at home, what a perfect opportunity to spend time doing the most fundamental is, where are you going in life?
Absolutely. It's the foundation, and there are many ways you can do this. I also run a networking group in Malaga called Malaga Business Mind with 3,000 business owners. We're members and we have regular events. And anybody who would like to, they will find me online, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and I have the offer there. All they need to do is book themselves in my calendar. I'll be more than happy to show them how they can do this step by step.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a super day, and stay home, stay safe.
Thank you very much. You too. Hope to see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.